Hey, happy Thursday, Houston. I'm KHOU 11 meteorologist Kim Castro. I've got some pretty big changes to walk you through in this 10-minute extended weather forecast. So we'll go nice and slow in case you've got big time plans penciled in for this afternoon, tomorrow, especially this weekend, and even into next week. The pattern is going to stay pretty consistent. So you'll notice rain chances are back in the mix. We even put in a 10% chance for the slight possibility that some of those clouds you see overhead bring us an isolated stray shower. I think most of us are not going to see that until tomorrow. That's when the rain chances increase to 20%. We'll keep it at 20 for your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then as we go into next week, an influx of additional moisture is going to kick up the rain chance to 30%. So where's the moisture coming from? It's actually coming from the Gulf. There's been a leftover frontal boundary stalled out near Florida, and this is going to meander in the central portion of the Gulf, bringing some showers to Florida, Mississippi, Alabama, working its way closer to Louisiana. We're just going to see the tail end of that moisture. It's definitely going to bring back that southerly breeze, so it will feel more humid in addition to us having a little bit more rain. Here's a look at radar. Nothing to track. Satellite showing us some additional cloud cover. But you'll notice if I widen the view of radar, that's exactly where the moisture is focused. So from Florida to the open Gulf, pushing towards New Orleans, even pushing into Lake Charles. That's kind of where this open area of convection is. It's got a very low end chance of actually developing 10%, but because there is at least a possibility, the National Hurricane Center is going to keep an eye on it, and so will we. If we have any updates on that, we'll make sure to let you know about it. And this is a funny thing. I've been watching this all day. It looks like, for whatever reason, there's something going on with the satellites, because the moon is moving around the Earth very, very fast. So just ignore that. The central Atlantic, with a 20% chance of development. This is over the next 7 days. The actual wave hasn't come off the west coast of Africa just yet, but this is going to be a zone that we do monitor. And then Imelda is now pretty much done. It's post-tropical. It already works its way through Bermuda. Now it's a remnant low. It's still got some pretty substantial winds, 75 miles an hour. That would put it into a Cat 1. But because it doesn't have the warm core characteristics anymore, in fact, it's going through pretty cooler, relatively speaking, waters, it is no longer that organized engine. And so it'll continue its trek into the northern Atlantic, harmless as a fish storm, so not interacting with any more land. How about back here at home? Beautiful shot, Galveston, Pleasure Pier, nice and calm. Traffic moving smoothly. I'd love to be by the beach today. Really anywhere in Southeast Texas is good by me. 2 thumbs up. The weather has been really nice. Still running on the warm side though. You'll notice temperatures already in the upper 80s, 89 for Brenham and for Tomball, 89 for IAH. This is above average for this time of year. We're barely at lunchtime, so we're going to continue to warm up over the next few hours. Lots of us with a clear shot of sunshine, a few of us with a mixture of some fair weather clouds. Your hour-by-hour forecast shows we are going to see those clouds through the afternoon. The high temperature today pops at 94 degrees, warmest part of the day. In case you're not liking the warm weather and you want it to feel like fall, well then avoid 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's when we are going to be pretty warm. We'll get down into the upper 80s by 7 this evening, and during the overnight hours we'll dip down into the low 70s. How about high temperatures? We talked about today. Tomorrow and Saturday, we scale back the high temperatures just a little bit to 90 degrees. That's because we'll see a little bit more cloud cover and we have the potential of that rain-cooled air. But today's 94 is going to feel really similar to yesterday, which was a pretty hot day. We made it to 95 degrees, which is actually very close to the record of 97 set back in 1938. That's an old record. We should be closer to that, 87 degrees. So it's toasty still for Houston, but I'm not surprised. I think these are 30-year records, so it takes extremes and makes an average. I think for us, late September, early October. It's always pretty warm anyways. Rain, we didn't have any yesterday, and we actually really need some. Look at what a big shift we've seen in just a month. So this is the drought monitor released on August 30th. The hill country with a drought, but we weren't even abnormally dry. Now, the latest drought monitor that got released this morning shows we have some worsening conditions because we haven't seen very much rain. The yellow is, like I said, just abnormally dry. So it's not actually a drought category. It's just kind of a heads up, a little precaution, an advisory, so to speak, that we could pretty soon start getting into a drought. Now, our western cities and counties, Brenham, Columbus, El Campo, those areas shaded in beige, already under a moderate drought. You'll notice along the I-35 corridor from Austin and San Antonio, a severe drought. In San Antonio itself, extreme drought. So we all need a little bit of rain. We got a long way to go. The month of October has just started, but there's some catching up to do because so far for the year, we've got an 8.5 inch deficit. So we need to make up for lost rain. Normal should be pushing closer towards 39 inches. We've had about 30 so far for this rainy season. Future track radar shows us the 10% chance for a stray shower is just that, pretty insignificant. You'll notice the majority of the energy is along the East Freeway from Lake Charles towards Louisiana, towards New Orleans. Coastal showers are going to be a little bit more visible for your Friday. So that's a snapshot at 10 o'clock in the morning. You'll notice from Galveston to Brazoria, Matagorda, we start to see some rain. Really anywhere along the I-10 corridor and south is fair game. I think we could see some moisture work its way up there. But let's say you have plans in the afternoon closer to downtown and northward. So let's say you're planning something in Tomball in spring, maybe you're trying to get to the Woodlands, or you have a flight out of Bush Airport and you're thinking, oh man, am I going to get rain delays? I don't think so. I think for the most part, you're going to be okay. So that's a 20% chance for some shower activity. Yeah, I think you'll see some rain in the bay too, so you'll have to watch for lightning. Boaters, I'm talking to you. You don't want to be out there in that. But if it's just some run-of-the-mill rain, I think you'll be fine. 7-day forecast looks like this. Okay, we talked about that 10% chance today and the 20% chance into the weekend. We got to talk about the cloud cover and what that's going to do to our temperatures. So it does start to reduce our high temperatures by a couple degrees, but the overnight temperatures see the opposite effect. So clouds act like a blanket of insulation. So let's say we're cloudless. During the day, we get all the solar radiation, and at night, it goes back out into space, so we release the heat. Now, on a cloudy day, the sunlight still penetrates the clouds, so we still warm up, not as much, so think of the difference of 94 to 90, for example. But at night, the energy from the sun is shortwave, it's powerful, and what gets emitted back out from Earth is long wave. It's a little bit weaker. So what that means, sunlight penetrates the clouds, but the heat energy from the ground doesn't quite penetrate the clouds back out as much. So some of it gets trapped. And because of that, we go from a low of say 69 on Saturday to a low of 75 on Sunday, 75 on Monday. So a little bit warmer starts are upon us, and you're gonna at least wanna watch radar, carry your umbrella, because we are going to start seeing a couple of rain showers working back into the forecast. Okie doke, that's about sums it up. Your next TV newscast is at 4 with meteorologist Chris Ramirez, and then our chief meteorologist David Paul. We'll see you back here at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. Have a good Thursday.